A media member called out the Dodgers, saying they were acting like jackasses during the World Series. We've got the Dodgers' top 5 free agent targets right now. Also, Lakers are going into tonight against the Hornets, and they're going against an old trade partner. We're going to revisit the Mark Williams trade. We're going to talk some Lakers because JJ Redick got spicy after their loss to the Hawks. Also, the Rams look like Super Bowl contenders. The reason why the Rams have as good of a shot as any team in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. And also, UCLA, the Bruins leaving the Rose Bowl, where they've called home since 1982, to go where and why? That's coming up next on the LA Sports Report.
LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go. The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, and welcome to the LA Sports Report. My name is Doug McKain. I've covered LA sports for over a decade, 24/7 sports, Bleacher Report, SI Dodgers Nation. The LA Sports Report is growing, and you guys have been showing up, showing out, talking Lakers, talking Rams, USC, UCLA, lots of Dodgers talk around these parts. And if you're new to the show, this is your all-in-one LA sports channel. You're going to get insider stuff, interviews, all the content that you need for your team all in one place. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the show, hit the like button, and make sure you have those notifications on. So definitely do that. We're going to have some giveaways. Comment LASR down below if you want to be eligible. So getting closer to 3,000 subscribers. And also audio. Go to the podcast as well and listen on the audio side. So LA sports fans, of course, still basking in the glow of another Dodgers World Series title. And since the Dodgers won that title, there have been people coming out questioning this Dodgers team, calling out this Dodgers team, and it's come from some very interesting angles. We talked last week about a former player. There was an SN level media member who said that the Dodgers weren't the better team and that he wasn't having sour grapes, but he really was discrediting the Dodgers. And this one comes from, at least for me, being a fan of the UFC, a more notable source, and that is Ariel Helwani.
I meant to tweet this, but I know everyone was going to say, like, oh, you're coping. I don't know if you guys watched a lot of the footage. I thought the Dodgers looked like jackasses. I thought they embarrassed themselves. I mean, did you guys see some of this stuff? I mean, there was this one clip where they're kind of mocking the ball being lodged moment. Like, you're mocking it. You're mocking a play that was controversial in which you didn't play the ball and called for it to be a ground rule double, and now you're laughing. And then the Kike Hernandez thing. Did you guys see he quoted the famous Conor McGregor UFC 205 interview, apologized to no one, but like the setup was just, it was, he fumbled his way through it, if we're being honest. Called himself the triple champ. I mean, yeah, you got an A on the group project, Kike. Let's be honest, okay? I mean, if Paez doesn't catch that ball, you're remembered for the guy who missed Ernie Clement's fly ball, okay? But the main thing for me was that I was an even bigger Blue Jays fan last night because they are classy, they are professional, they are respectful. They would never conduct themselves the way in which the Dodgers did yesterday. So
that was perfect, by the way. Ariel Helwani is named Ariel, and I think that's fitting. You know why? Because my man's acts like a Disney princess. What are you talking about, jackasses? What are you talking about? Oh, the Dodgers are not acting appropriately because they're mocking the Justin Dean play where he had his arms up in the air when he made the smart play by not trying to play that ball because it was lodged under the wall, and it was a smart play, and it was one of the reasons why the Dodgers won that Game 6 and ultimately went on to win the World Series. But a couple things I have a big issue with here are, one, trying to call out Kike Hernandez, trying to act like Kike did not play a pivotal role in this Dodgers World Series title is absolutely ridiculous. It's misinformed. It's an ignorant take. And Kike Hernandez himself, he came to the party because he's the life of the party, like he always is. And he responded to Ariel Helwani. 3 crying, laughing emojis. And this is the kind I use. I don't know about you, Rob. I do the crying emoji, but it's a sideways cry. You know where she's laughing the hardest? That's my emoji. And Kike hit Ariel Helwani with 3 crying, laughing emojis saying, "Suck it, Ariel Helwani!" Exclamation points. All caps, loser. Does 3X World Series champ sound better than triple champ? Does 3X World Series champ sound better than triple champ? And then he would respond to Kike, Ariel would, saying, "Congrats on getting an A on the group project, Kike Hernandez. Great read on that Clement fly ball, bro." And then Kike responded, "Got me good there, L." So first of all, it's pretty clear at this point, Ariel Helwani does not know ball. I guarantee you that before this series, he had no idea who Kike Hernandez even was. And the truth is Kike was getting to that ball. He might have made that play, and he also was the guy behind the double play that ended Game 6. But the truth is, anyone that knows anything about Kike Hernandez knows he has one of the best things that you can have for your reputation in all sports. And that is, his reputation is, from the regular season to the postseason, he goes from a below average player to an above average player, to an all-star, to one of the best postseason players we've ever seen. And yes, I'm sure Kike and his bank account and his contract status would prefer that he was great in both the regular season and the postseason, but he does not shrink. He does not wilt. He does step up. And the triple champ does what the F he wants, like Kike Hernandez said. And the truth is I didn't know the Blue Jays and their fans were crybabies like this. I thought people from Canada are supposed to be nice. And I see someone from Canada try to call out Kike Hernandez saying that he should get an A on the group project. See what I did right there? But the truth is, it was their best player. It was their big superstar, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that called out the Yankees.
Hey, let's do it again. Dale. The Yankee lose. The Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose.
The Blue Jays lose. The Blue Jays lose. And I think my biggest takeaway from all this is, hey, I guess we know why Dana White and the UFC moved off of Ariel Helwani and they sent him packing. And now you're talking baseball, which you know nothing about, on some podcast that no one probably watches or listens to. So, hey, Ariel Helwani, like Kike Hernandez said, the 3-time champ does what he wants. Now, let's talk some Dodger baseball. Let's talk some free agency because, look, you want to be mad at the Dodgers? You should be mad at the Dodgers because they're a dynasty now. They're running baseball. They're not ruining it. They're running it. And that is what we're seeing right now. And we are seeing a dynasty that has a chance to get even better. LA has $87 million coming off the books. You still have Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto in their absolute primes. You got Roki Sasaki. He proved himself to be an elite reliever, thinks he goes back to being a starter. And right now it's about putting pieces around Shohei Ohtani that can help you win even more championships, that can make the baseball world that hates the Dodgers even more mad, because you've got money to spend and the guys to spend it on could elevate this team even more. And we'll start at number 5. as far as the top free agent targets for the Dodgers. And this list is going to evolve, but number 5 might shock you a little bit. Number 5 might surprise you a little bit because the team that he played for, because the incident he had with a member of the Dodgers, and that guy is Robert Suarez. Right-handed pitcher. He's 35 years old. He declined his $8 million player option for 26 and 27. He's looking to convert back-to-back All-Star seasons into a bigger contract as he goes into his age 35 season. And this is a guy who's been really good. Back-to-back sub-3 ERA seasons. He saved 76 games, including an NL high 40 games this past season. He's a high velocity guy, 98.6 mile per hour fastball. That was 97th percentile this season. And it placed him in the 20th percentile in strikeout and walk percentage. So this is a guy that does a lot of things the Dodgers are looking for. Can you throw with high velocity? Yes. Are you a right-handed pitcher? Yes. Are you going to require a long-term deal that's going to be a 5-year, 6-year deal north of $100 million? The answer is no. I think because of his age, he does make some sense for the Dodgers. And I know this sounds crazy. I know some of my Dodgers faithful, Dodgers Nation, is not going to love me saying this, but I want to be the first to say that I absolutely would give Robert Suarez a contract. And I would want him on the Los Angeles Dodgers. It almost reminds me of when Kobe Bryant said, hey, Ron Artest, you used to elbow me in the head. We used to get in fights. We used to go out on the court. I like that about you. I want you on my team. And Meta World Peace goes to the Lakers. How about Matt Barnes? You see the intro, the famous ball fake to Kobe. Kobe doesn't flinch. You used to go out with Matt Barnes. Kobe, hey, what did Matt Barnes say about Kobe Bryant? He said that Kobe told him, if you're crazy enough to F with me, you're crazy enough to play with me. And if you're Shohei Ohtani, yeah, Suarez throw you back. He did that. But if I'm Shohei, I said, hey, I wanted Tanner Scott when he was a Padre. It didn't work out so far. But Suarez does make a lot of sense. And I think if the Dodgers are looking to add a high leverage reliever, a right-handed pitcher, that's not going to cost you $70 million or more, and it's not going to require you to trade for top prospects, Robert Suarez could be an interesting option. He's number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list, I'm throwing this out there because a lot of Dodgers fans want this, Munetaka Murakami. Now, Munetaka Murakami, a lot of upside as far as his ability to hit for power when he was at his very best in Japan. And I've talked to a scout who tells me he's got the legit power that's going to translate to the show. He's hit 246 home runs over the last 8 years. He had a 56 homer season in 2022 that broke Sadaharu Oh's 58-year-old record for home runs by a Japanese-born player. Murakami has been posted by the Yakult Swallows, and he's going to be the first power hitter since Hideki Matsui to make the jump from the NPB to MLB. Now, the reason why I have him as number 4 on my list is he checks off a lot of boxes. A Japanese player joined the Dodgers. Hey, where have I seen that before, right? You can join Ohtani. You can join Yamamoto. You can join Roki Sasaki. And for anyone out there that says, hey, why would you want to be in Ohtani's shadow? Well, 1, doesn't matter where you play, you're going to be in Ohtani's shadow. But 2, look at Yamamoto. He had his moment. He wasn't living in Ohtani's shadow. Look at Roki Sasaki. He had his moments. That wasn't because of he was living in Ohtani's shadow. So, look, I think the number one thing for me, the number one question I have is, do the Dodgers believe he can play third base at a competent level? And is he willing to almost sit behind Max Muncy, or are they willing to trade Max Muncy? But if they believe that he can be a 30 to 40 home run guy for the Dodgers, and then he's just 26 years old, you got Freddie for 2 more years at first base. He did play 1 game in right field last year. Do you consider him an outfielder? Because the issue that he has with the Dodgers is there's not a great defensive fit, because I've talked to a lot of scouts and people in the industry that tell me that he profiles more as an outfielder, a first baseman or a DH. So it's interesting. I'm keeping it out there because I'm I'm in the information gathering stage of the MLB offseason, the Dodgers offseason, where, hey, if Murakami wants to be a Dodger and they want to put on the full court press, just like they did with Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Rogi Sasaki, look, I think it's pretty simple, right? I think it's pretty simple. Like, if Ohtani wants Murakami, they can get that deal done. It's just a matter of defensive fit. That's the biggest question. He does have some issues. Contact in the zone has been one of his weak spots. He does strike out, and we'll take deeper dives into it as a player. But right now, it's on the surface level. Japanese star goes to the Dodgers. That works. That's led to 2 World Series. And hey, let's get Team Samurai. Let's get Team Japan for the Dodgers. Then coming in at number 3, I've got Cody Bellinger. Now, I know that I'm the first guy to say you don't want to reheat the McDonald's French fries. You don't want to reheat the nachos. It doesn't taste the same. You're not getting 2019 MVP Cody Bellinger back. He's dealt with some injuries. But this is a guy that's become a consistent hitter. And since he was traded to the Yankees last winter, he opted out of the final year and $25 million to test free agency again this winter. And in 2024, he had some ups and downs, but he absolutely flourished in the Bronx in 2025. He hit 29 home runs, had 98 RBIs, and 814 OPS in 152 games. He posted his highest B-WAR since 2019 at 5. In 2019, had 8.7 his MVP season. So he's versatile. The only issue is his home road splits, Yankees and Dodgers. And do you think that he can have the same success at Dodger Stadium as he did at Yankee Stadium? That is a question that's pretty valid, because if you look at his home run splits, most of the damage that he did came outside of Yankee Stadium. But he's a good player. He really is. And if Cody Bellinger wanted to sign a deal with the Dodgers between $120 to $140 million compared to what you would have to give to Kyle Tucker, where you're looking at $300 to $400 million, a shorter contract, a guy who's entering his age 30 season, he's cut down on the strikeouts, can still hit you 25 to 30 home runs. But the one question you have about him is the home and road splits. At Yankee Stadium, a 909 OPS at 18 home runs. Away, a 17 OPS, a below average hitter, hit 11 home runs. I still like the idea of Cody Bellinger back in Los Angeles. The vibe check is high. The positional versatility is good. I talked to his agent, Scott Boras, at the World Series, and he told me that he loved his time in Los Angeles. And I also talked to Scott Boras after the interview, and he reiterated to me once again that Cody Bellinger loved his time in Los Angeles as a Dodger. And he essentially told me, hey, like if the Dodgers wanted him, he would consider them. And that is something to consider as well. Then going at number 2, Bo Bichette. So Bo Bichette is a shortstop that rakes, but he is a defensive liability. He is not a glove first shortstop. He's 28. He led the American League in hits in 2021 and 2022. And this past season, I mean, he was raking up until he got injured. In 139 games, he had 18 home runs, 94 RBIs, had an 840 OPS. So there's not a big shortstop market. If Mookie Betts wants to move off of short and willing to go to second base, Bo Bichette is certainly an interesting guy, because he'd probably sign a deal in the $120 to $130, $140 million range. And I think that's kind of where the Dodgers could be at as far as the free agents they could pursue. So I am in on Shohei Bichette. I really am, just because I know he rakes. And that was the reason why the Dodgers struggled at times in this postseason. It was not the pitching, it was the hitting. They averaged less than 4 runs per game for a long stretch. So adding an infusion of hitting talent, I think, is absolutely important. You got to add a couple more boppers, a couple of fresh bats, a couple of guys in their late 20s, early 30s to kind of infuse this lineup with some youth. And then number 1 is Kyle Tucker. So Kyle Tucker, that's the big ticket item this offseason. He's headlined this free agent class. And a lot of people are sour on Tucker just because of the way his season ended. Up until June, he was great. He had a 931 OPS, 17 home runs, 52 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, so he can steal bases, can play good defense. But he had a right hand fracture that forced him to miss time, and the numbers took a hit. But this is the most well-rounded player. This is a true MVP candidate type of player. He has been worth at least he's got at least 4 F4 every year since 2021. So when you talk about a guy that's getting you 4 F4 in an age where you're paying big money for any and everything production-wise from an F4 standpoint, that can certainly help you in a big way. So I think the only thing about Kyle Tucker is I've heard that there's some Anthony Rendon vibes with him. That's what I've heard from sources. Is there some Anthony Rendon vibes? And those vibes are, yeah, he's really talented, also gets injured. How badly does he want to win? How much does he love baseball? Does he check off those boxes? So those would be the top 5 as far as big names that could go after. Am I in love with any of these guys? Like, or is anyone on this list? Like, you guys saw me a couple years ago. I had to have Yamamoto. I had to have Shohei Ohtani, right? I had to have those guys. None of these guys are, I have to have it. It's going to be a failure if they don't get them. But they got the money to play, and there's not a lot of aggressive teams out there. Might as well go and stack your roster before a potential lockout and then three-peat. That's another thing, too. You can be the first team to three-peat in professional sports since the Los Angeles Lakers. Got some comments here. Muad'Dib69 apologizes to effing no one. Yes. Roseman Carino, that gentleman doesn't know what he's talking about. How can you hate Freeman, Ohtani, and Betts? They're the most genuine players in baseball. Yeah, that's the thing. The Dodgers, I mean, who is the villain of the Dodgers? They're all nice guys. They all love baseball. They love each other. And they all do great stuff in the community. Like, it's not that team. Like, only you hate them because you ain't them. That's the only way to hate the Dodgers. You hate them because you're jealous. They're almost too good to be true when you think about it. But they're a team of upstanding citizens that just play hard baseball and they're super clutch. I could see why people might hate Kike. He talks a little ish, right? And he kind of came back at Drake a little bit. But I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Ariel Helwani, that's just sour grapes for a guy that doesn't know ball. BC, might as well keep Conforto if you want Bellinger cheaper, and they'll hit about the same. Bellinger was really good at the plate. Even the worst version of Bellinger is better than Michael Conforto. Nando, Bichette over Tucker, but doesn't solve the outfield issue. Nando, what is up? No, I totally agree. I think if I had to pick between Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker, I actually would consider Bo Bichette. Even though the defense has not been great, I mean, the dude can absolutely hit. I mean, he really, really can. And it doesn't solve the outfield issue, but there are some trade candidates you could pursue. There's some guys, and we talked about Steven Kwan today on Dodgers Dugout. We've got no way Tucker is a Hollywood fit from Justin Lamas. Wait, so that's just what I've heard, Justin. I mean, don't shoot the messenger, but got some sources, got people I talked to, got more than some, and that's just kind of what I've heard. Like, he's a guy that, hey, he signed the big deal, live in Florida and all this stuff, and who knows? I mean, he doesn't kind of check that box of star power, right? I mean, what's his ovation going to be like? Think about this. If you sign Kyle Tucker to a $300, $400 million deal, like, where would he rank among the Dodgers stars? Well, he ranked behind Shohei, ranked behind Freddie, ranked behind Mookie, might rank behind, I mean, definitely ranks behind Yamamoto, if you include the pitchers. And then is he in that Tyler? He's almost like the Tyler Glasnow tier, but of hitters. Like, that's kind of where he would be. I mean, but he could win MVP, though. Like, I'm just saying, like, he's that good. He just doesn't have the aura, as the kids say. He doesn't feel like a Dodgers star. He just doesn't. I have to be completely honest with you. He doesn't. But that's where we're at. Top 5 free agents. Let me know down below. How do you feel about my list? Who would you most want out of that list? And now let's switch gears and bring in the Ramily. So the Rams, they went up to San Francisco and they absolutely beat down the 49ers. The 49ers up, they got a late touchdown with George Kittle to make it a 42-26 game, but that was a beatdown. And I know there was probably a lot of fans at that game, probably a lot of 49ers fans at that game that said, hey, at least we won the World Series, right? Of course, I'm only kidding. Because there's a lot of 49ers, a lot of 49ers Dodgers fans out there. But yesterday, we saw a Rams team that has a quarterback playing at an MVP level. And Matthew Stafford is showing at age 37 that even with the back injury early on in the year, that he's still playing at an elite level. He still can lead this Rams team to a Super Bowl. And we're talking about a Rams team that's 7-2. That's a couple of bad special teams away from being an undefeated team heading into a matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. And yesterday proved that, hey, Kyle Shanahan and this 49ers team, they're not the juggernaut that they once were. And yes, you're missing Fred Warner. You're missing a lot of key guys. Nick Bosa's out. There's a lot of that, and that's 100% true. But I don't think this is a Rams team that fears the 49ers. They're not a team that views the 49ers as a team that is in their way as they pursue another Super Bowl. And I think the first big takeaway yesterday, the Rams came out with purpose. I mean, when the Rams played the 49ers back on week 5, I mean, it was like they weren't even ready to play. They came out lackadaisical. There wasn't a spark. That was not the case on Sunday. The Rams came out with energy. They came out with purpose. They led 21-0 before you could even blink. And this is a game that the Rams knew they were better than the 49ers. They knew they had to win that game, and they did that. And the biggest reason why was Matthew Stafford. Now, I know there's other candidates out there, and you look at the MVP odds in the NFL right now, Matthew Stafford's name is going up because Drake May was the sexy pick for a little while, Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes. But as of today, according to FanDuel, Matthew Stafford, my preseason pick, Matthew Stafford has the best odds to win the NFL MVP. And he was balling. I mean, he absolutely was. Threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, all 4 touchdowns to different Rams receivers and tight ends. And now he's 6-3 on the road, 0 picks. He has 22 touchdowns since his last interception. That's the longest streak in NFL history behind the 26 for Tom Brady. He also entered that 400 touchdown club. And on the season, he has 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. The only other quarterback to do that through their team's first 9 games was Patrick Mahomes in 2020. 25 tutties to 2 picks. He's playing some of the best football. No, check that. He is playing the best football of his career. He's getting better every week. He's gone 6 straight games without an interception. That's the longest streak of his career. And it's not like they're hiding him. It's not like they're playing conservative football. They are throwing the football all around. You're seeing special throws. The tight ends are getting involved. Devontae Adams is a great red zone threat. Puka Nacua established himself as the top 3 to 5 receiver in the sport. And I'm telling you right now, Matthew Stafford is on a mission to win the MVP, to win the Super Bowl, and get into the Hall of Fame. Here, check out Matthew Stafford after the game. Hitting that. Let's check that one out first. Yeah,
I mean, I was
look at
having
the
a good
shimmy
time. I
here.
got hit on that one pretty good, so I had to shake that one off a little bit. But no, it was. I don't know, man. Like I said, I have fun out there. I lose my mind when we score touchdowns. I don't think about it. A lot of these guys are in the locker room pregame prepping what kind of dance they're going to do if they score a touchdown. I just go out there and play, and whatever comes to me, comes to me.
Hold up. Did he hit that? Did he hit that shimmy? Is it because he was up in the Bay Area where Curry plays that he was hitting that shimmy? Kind of reminded me of the Shaq gif. You know, he's hitting that. How do you guys think about my shimmy, man? I don't know. My shimmy's kind of like, got to get these shoulders loosened up. But yeah, I mean, that tells you he's having fun. That tells you that he is, he's out there doing his thing and he's having a good time. And then he also talked after the game about just this win and join that 400 touchdown club.
No, I didn't know that either. That's the one, huh? Yeah, I mean, unlike a lot of the other ones that I throw, I feel like on the run and scrambling around, usually in the pocket somewhere. But no, that's awesome. It's super cool. I say it all the time, but I'm just such a huge fan of the NFL. I have so much respect for the guys that came before me and played before me, and you know what this league means, and you know to be able to reach milestones like that. It's a ton of people involved. You know, it's not just myself throwing touchdowns. It's whole team in a bunch of different places, obviously a couple different cities, a couple different franchises. So it means a lot to be a part of, the history of the NFL and be able to play it for as long as I've been able to. I don't take that for granted. No, I didn't know that either. That's the one, huh?
So Stafford, he's having this incredible year, right? And I remember before the season, there was this debate. Should Matthew Stafford be a Hall of Famer? Should Matthew Stafford be a Hall of Famer? And there were some people that said that he shouldn't have been. They think that, one ring is not enough. One ring is not enough. And the fact that he doesn't have all these all pros throughout his career. And that, hey, maybe he's in the Hall of Really Good. Are you kidding me? You got to be joking. I mean, he's just the 9th player in NFL history to throw for 400 or more touchdowns. I mean, the counting stats are there, and the overall success that he's had with the Rams kind of, I think, will help him too, because there's a Pro Football Reference Hall of Fame monitor, and it's a metric designed to estimate a player's chances of making the Pro Football Hall of Fame using AV and Pro Bowls and All Pros and championships and all these stat milestones. And the players listed below are the top the top ones that have the best chance of making the Hall of Fame, right? And anytime that you're a lock, I mean, you're looking at 100 being average. Well, you've got Brady at 263, Peyton Manning at 257, Aaron Rodgers at 192. So you look at Hall of Fame quarterbacks, the average is 108. And before last season, his was at 79.01. So that is kind of wild when you think about kind of where he's at as far as his Hall of Fame chances. But I think that number is going to go up significantly. I really do. You look at the Hall of Fame monitor right now. Like I said, Brady, 263, Manning, 257. Let's see where Stafford is now. So Stafford now is at 86. He's at 86. That's behind Eli Manning, Kurt Warner, Dan Fouts, Roger Staubach. You need to go up on that list. But I mean, I look at a guy like Warren Moon, right? Warren Moon's in the Hall of Fame, and he had a 71 on the Hall of Fame monitor. So I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he should have been the Super Bowl MVP in 2021, and they went to Cooper Kupp. But no, he wins an MVP. He wins on the Super Bowl. He's 100% lock. I think he even gets in now. But the point is, he's got purpose, and that purpose is he wants to win another championship to truly solidify his career and cement the gold jacket for him to get into Canton. Now, let's hear Sean McVay talk about his quarterback.
He's been awesome, Gary. He's just been in total command. It's a continuation of a guy that really works, his tail off throughout the course of the week. He uses the accumulation of knowledge and experience, and then he's just playing really confident. It looks like the game is really in slow motion to him right now. And the best thing about him is he's so humble. But we're really grateful to be able to have him leading the way. He instills a belief every time that he's at the switch for us, and guys play well around him. You want to do right by him. He makes me a better coach, and certainly don't take for granted how lucky I am to be able to work with him, and I know our team feels the same way.
I see some comments here. BC, LA about to have 3 MVPs, Shohei, Stafford, and Luka. That's the comment of the show. And I would love that. Luka's my MVP pick for the Lakers. Shohei's going to win MVP. Stafford's my MVP pick for the NFL. I pretty much a living, breathing, biased LA fan, I guess, apparently. But look at this 72. Garibay says, I'm a Dodgers Raiders fan. LOL. Look, we'll talk some Raiders on the show because there's a lot of Raiders fans in LA. Look, your team's your team, and the Raiders played here for a long time. I'm not mad at that. BC, 2020s Dodgers greater than the 2010s Giants. Sounds like a good segment I'll bring on this show. And absolutely, when it comes to top-end talent, there's no doubt about that. I totally agree. I totally agree. All right, so other takeaways from the Rams game. We'll talk other NFL too in a second here. Is Davante Adams really stood out? Davante Adams has a touchdown in each of his last 3 games. He had one against the 49ers. He's becoming more than just a red zone threat. You're seeing them connect and make plays in other places. And I looked at some of those plays yesterday. And what you love about Davante Adams is he can beat you in one-on-ones. He can get in and out of his breaks, but also you're seeing him kind of build that downfield, kind of middle of the football field chemistry with Matthew Stafford. It was always a matter of time, right? He's too good. He's too talented to not have more production with Matty Stafford. It took almost half the year, but we're now seeing that, hey, Davante Adams is starting to look like the Packers version of Davante Adams. He's got 9 touchdown receptions. That leads the NFL, and that's the most he's had in a season since he had 14 touchdowns in 2022. So the main thing for me with Davante Adams is, one, we both have something in common. We both love Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell. And 2, he's happy. He loves being a Ram. He loves being in LA, playing with a great organization, a great coach, a great quarterback. He looks completely re-energized and revitalized. Other takeaway, the Rams have a 2-headed monster in the backfield in Kyren Williams and Blake Corum. They combined for 27 carries for 129 yards, and that's a week after they went 38 carries for 172 yards. It's the 3rd straight game they both had 10 or more carries. Williams is still the main ball carrier, but you're seeing it closer to 50-50. It's closer to 50-50 the last 3 weeks. And the Rams, you're having a rotation now. And I think the most important thing about this is you're seeing a fresher version of Kyren that they're going to need down the stretch and in the playoffs because they're expected to have a deep run. But I look, too, at the differences between these two backs. And Corum, if you look at his big runs yesterday, those both were on wide zones. Those are both on outside zone concepts. That gives Corum the ability to run with that offensive line and just use his vision. I love the way he can cut back and make a guy miss with that vision. And Kyren, he's efficient on the inside. So now you got a dude in Kyren that can bust you in the inside. And then you got a Blake Corum that can hit you on the outside zone and make guys miss. So you got 2 great wide receivers in Puka Nacua and Davante Adams. You got 2 running backs that are now making their presence felt and bringing different dynamics to this offense. That's very key as well. And then how about the balance of this offense? Sean McVay, the 13 personnel. And what's 13 personnel? Well, that's where you have more tight ends into the mix. And 13 personnel is something that I know that Sean McVay has been interested in for a long time, but he just never had the personnel to do 13 personnel. When you have 13 personnel, it's 1 running back, 3 tight ends, and 1 wide receiver. Typically, he's at 11 personnel, right? That's how he made his bones, where you've got 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Now you're seeing multiple tight end sets. And on Sunday, they used 13 personnel 44.8% of the time against the 49ers. And they've used 13 personnel on 97 plays in their last 4 games. Just to give you an idea how much more they're using 13 personnel, is he's used it just 84 times in his first 137 games. And they've used it 97 times in the last 4. So 84 in his first 137 games and then 97 in his last 4 games. So tight end is becoming part of the identity of this Rams offense with Terrence Ferguson and Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen. All those guys made plays. And what that does is it opens things up for the offense where you're seeing Davante Adams and Puka Nacua get less. They're always going to be the main guys they're going to lead on, but there's an element that's opening it up for them. And you're also seeing the goal line too. If you want to double Davante Adams, they'll just run it. If you want to give him single coverage, they'll go to him. So there's just a lot for guys to plan for. And you saw Robert Saleh, when they cut to him yesterday, he had no answers. He didn't know what to do because there's not a lot on film. So Sean McVay is the most brilliant overall coach in this game when it comes to culture and getting guys to buy in. And Kyle Shanahan always gets the credit for being the offensive guru, which he is. But McVay changes the game. McVay changed the game with 11 personnel, and he's changed the game again with 13 personnel. Matthew Stafford has completed a pass to 8 different players yesterday, and he's throwing all guys around. I mean, he's balanced. You're seeing more guys involved. And on top of that, you're seeing balance from the running game. So you got the balance of the running game with Corman and Kyron. You got balance of the passing game. It's going to keep guys fresh. It's going to make it impossible for teams to stay in their base defense. It's going to limit defense's playbook. So credit to Sean McVay for evolving and finding the next chapter in his career. And here was Sean McVay talking about the Rams' big win up in San Francisco.
I think you really just kind of answered it with the question. I liked the way that we responded. And, there was a bunch of big plays. I thought Puka was awesome on a couple of the screens. The 4th down and 3 was a big play to allow us to then be able to hit Devontae on the touchdown. And, just really overall, I just really like the resolve of this group. There's a resilience. There's a mental toughness. There's an ability to be able to respond. We always talk about being able to respond, not react. Thought we stayed steady. And then I thought the defense did an excellent job as well, making the stops when they had to. What a cool job. Emmanuel Forbes gets another pick on a 4th down. And, it's awesome just to be able to see guys celebrate each other's successes. One of the things that I think good teams do, they celebrate each other's successes. There's an enjoyment for other successes. There's an enjoyment for staying connected through the different ebbs and flows that a game entails. And I love this football team, love this group. And like I mentioned, excited to be able to build with them.
There's Sean McVay. And, hey, we're going to do a ranking of the top LA coaches this week. And spoiler alert, he's going to be right at the top. He's going to be right at the top. Dave Roberts, J.J. Redick, Sean McVay is that guy. And a couple more things about this game. The kicking game, they've struggled with kicking. They went Sixers first 6 with my favorite nickname in all of sports right now, the thicker kicker with Harrison Mevis. My man sitting 5'11", 245. And the Rams also punted for their own 41. And it wasn't a great overall special teams game, but we'll still see the kicking game get tested. But the biggest takeaway is, look, they controlled Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey had 2.5 yards per carry, and the game was put into Mac Jones' hands. And the Rams said, hey, we're going to bet on our offense versus their offense, and it worked. And the Rams played mistake-free football. They created a couple turnovers on defense. This is exactly what you need to control this game. And every time the 49ers threw a punch in the second half, the Rams, they threw a punch back. And they answered every time they were tested. And this isn't when they need it. The Rams are now in a really good position if you can beat Seattle and if you can beat the Bucs. The Rams are now 1-1 in the NFC West. They're not going to get swept by the 49ers. Division wins are never easy on the road. And the Rams, they absolutely came in locked in. And I think they're right up there for best teams in the NFL right now. I really do. The Rams and the Seahawks, that's going to be an electric showdown. Because the Seahawks, at one point yesterday, the Seahawks, or the Sea Chickens, as they call them, they were up 35-0 when the Rams were up 21-0. And, that's going to be an absolute showdown. Both teams at 7-2. The Rams have a point differential plus 98. The Seahawks at 103. So, we'll do some previews. We'll talk a lot about that. But, hey, Rams are rolling. All right, switching gears to the Lakers. So, Lakers, Hornets tonight. Mark Williams back in the mix. And Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves. This Lakers team on Saturday had one of their most disappointing losses. They didn't look ready to play. And Luka was out there. They had the Sunday Whites on a weekend game, and it was a blowout loss. It really was. And one thing I love about J.J. Redick is dude has so much fire. Dude has so much passion. He is not afraid to get spicy in his post-game pressers. And let's hear from J.J. Redick. This will kind of this set the tone here for this segment.
Yeah, just not a lot to like tonight.
Where... you obviously had mentioned, right, you're going to emphasize that this happens sometimes when other teams are down. They find a way to rally around the flag. Did you feel some of that from the Hawks, or did you feel like this is more of your issue?
Oh, they brought the requisite level of effort and urgency and physicality.
We spoke about pregame about how, you guys were in that position as the Hawks. We spoke about how much you guys have rallied and brought that energy. Is it even more disappointing to see it to kick off this road trip in that manner, considering you guys have done it so much to start?
Yeah, very disappointing.
So now, kind of, what's next? What's next? Is it kind of just you flush this one, or do you look at it after, or is it just let's just forget and move on to the next one?
No, we're going to look at it for sure.
Was there a moment in that third quarter that you realized that this was not going to be one of those nights where at least your first unit was going to get that?
I realized that in the first 2 minutes of the game.
What did you see in those first 2 minutes?
Nothing.
So, look, this is one of those games where even good teams lose bad games in the course of an 82-game season. It turns out, Lakers Nation, Lakers fans out there, purple and gold, they weren't going to go 80-2 this year. And I think this kind of falls somewhere in between, hey, that was bad. Hey, this happens. Hey, at some point you're just going to have a schedule loss in a lazy weekend game. But I think what you love about that is JJ Redick clearly, hey, I would love to see a clip of what it looked like inside that Lakers locker room, because they clearly got a message from JJ Redick. And look, I don't think JJ told the players, hey, overlook the Hawks, right? But you look at his post-game press conference right there, and it certainly seemed that he warned his group, hey, this could happen. He has 6 guys out. He didn't have too many options to turn to off the bench. He played everyone that he had available before it went into garbage time, because, I mean, you had a lot of inactives. Chris Mannion, LeBron James, Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Christian Coloco, Thero's out. He didn't have a lot to work with, but still, I mean, that's a game that you want back. And Luka Doncic, 22-5, 11, 1-5, 22 points, 11 assists, 27 minutes, went 4 for 10 from beyond the arc. But, I mean, I think it was a pretty frustrating game for Luka. He went 9 for 27 against the Spurs. And, yeah, the shot is not quite what isn't very Luka Doncic like right now. I think tonight you're going to see a better game from this Lakers team against the Hornets. DeAndre Ayton kind of had a good game. DeAndre, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, but he was very efficient, 5 for 5 from the field. So, yeah, tonight it's going to be really interesting because the Hornets are in town. Yeah, there's our guy, DeAndre. The Hornets are in town. And, of course, DeAndre Ayton is very relevant to this because that's the center they ended up with. And he's the guy that has filled that role that they were thinking Mark Williams could provide and could possibly be able to fill for this team. Instead, you get DeAndre Ayton, and you didn't have to give Dalton Connect. You didn't have to give a first-round pick. You didn't have to unload some of those assets. So that definitely, I think when I look back at this trade and the trades that never happened, I think Dalton Connect, I'm very interested to see kind of what the vibe is like with him, what the pulse is like for Dalton Connect. Because if I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm telling Dalton Connect, hey, don't be mad. It's the NBA. This is a business. And you got it all wrong. When I traded you to Charlotte, I regretted my decision. I rescinded the trade because, hey, the Lakers are nothing without Connect 4, right? Has nothing to do with Mark Williams failing his physical. Nothing to do with that. You know what? You're kind of like the son I never had, man. I love you, Dalton Connect. So go out there. Show them what it means to put on this purple and gold. No one out there believes in you more than I do. Well, of course, I'm only joking, but I do think the Lakers kind of need to have that moment with him. I think they need to have that moment with Dalton Connect and just kind of sending that message to him saying, hey, we know that might have been tough to have to play through and deal with, but the truth is he's here, and sometimes the best trades are the ones that you never make. And look, if Rob Pelinka had a crystal ball and he was able to look into the future and say, okay, I know I'm going to get DeAndre Ayton for a discounted rate, pennies on the dollar, basically get him for the price of a backup center, I wouldn't have traded him. So I hope Dalton Connect has a moment. Now, we do have some news about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is expected to be back, and that is very promising because you still need LeBron James back. But Austin Reeves has been upgraded to available as per JJ Redick. So he did play against the Heat on November 2nd. He sat out the last week with an injury they were first calling groin soreness. So look, Austin Reeves has played at an all-star level. He's completely unlocked another level to his game. And I'm curious to see Austin Reeves as much as possible in a number 2 role before LeBron James gets back. Now, if he keeps on resting and things like that, we'll see how long they play him. It's a groin injury. And I mean, the Hornets are missing everyone. So I think it's a Lakers team that's very motivated after dropping that 1 to the Hawks. So if it were me, I probably would give the night off just to not have that further injury risk. But it is definitely a positive sign. This is nothing lingering. Now, as far as tonight, look, this is a game at home. It's the Hornets. They're missing tons of key players. The Hornets this year, they're 3-6. The 3 wins coming against the Jazz, the Nets, and the Wizards. And those 3 teams combined for a 5-23 record. But here's the thing. The Hawks were shorthanded on Saturday. This is the NBA. You can lose to anyone. You can beat anyone. And the Lakers need to bounce back tonight. They need to bounce back. JJ Redick was hot. He was heated. He was spicy after the game. And I'm expecting a much more engaged Lakers team in the first and second quarter, because they did not look very engaged and they did not look like they were wanting to beat. I don't think that JJ didn't prepare them, but hey, it happens. And I think other thing you kind of have to consider too is Luka's been great for most of the season with LeBron and Austin Reeves dealing with some issues, but he needs to be a little better now with the shooting. I mean, the shooting has been down against the Hawks. He had 2 early fouls. I think that kind of made it difficult for him to stay involved in the defensive end and be physical like we've seen more since he's kind of dropped the weight and is in the best shape that he's been with that revenge bod Luka. So, yeah, outside of that, I mean, they got Con Knipple. He's averaging 16.4 points per game, 6 boards, a dookie. LaMelo Ball is out. Miles Bridges is questionable. The Hornets are getting Colin Sexton back. He's averaging 16.1 points per game this season. So it doesn't matter who plays for the Hornets. The Lakers need to win this game. They're coming off an embarrassing loss. They need to show that, hey, this is not the Darvin Ham Lakers. This is a team that their standard is, hey, we are going to beat teams like the Hornets that are decimated by injuries. And anytime you're playing the Lakers, you're going to bring your best because of who they are. But tonight's going to be I think a big indication of how much they learned from that bad loss to the Hawks. Noah, you would get in here and give your thoughts on the Hornets?
Get in here, man.
Yeah, your boy, I feel bad for you. I'm rooting on his downfall, LaMelo Ball.
I know, man. Like, what I love about Melo is he always shows that whenever he plays the Lakers. Like, you remember last year we were out in Arizona watching the Lakers versus Hornets late in the season. He was hooping. I think he beat them, and late in the fourth quarter, him and Mark Williams went to work. It's always showtime when he plays. But I mean, all in all, I think Lakers should be happy he's not playing, because you need a good win to rebound after that bad loss to the Hawks. Absolutely unacceptable in my opinion. Starting off an early road trip like that 5-game stretch, and LeBron James is coming back soon. Austin Reeves is probable for tonight, right? I didn't see the latest injury update, but last I heard he was probable.
He's available. He was upgraded. Okay. We'll see if he plays. I hope he does. I mean, look, losses and wins in November, they count the same as losses and wins in March. And I think that it does feel like the record you put together where you were second in the West, you're kind of playing with some house money, knowing that LeBron James has been out, knowing that Luke and Austin Reeves, they've had their moments as well. But I mean, that, like I said, I don't know if you saw the JJ Redick clip we just played.
Yeah.
I love that about this dude. Like, I mean, this guy, like, it's like, I wonder, like, what percentage of the day he's mad. Like, it's like, gotta be like in like the 70 or 80% range, right? Like, the dude's like mad about something at all times.
Yeah, and like, you know how there's coaches that say they wish they could just go in the game, or they feel like they wish they could go in the game and do exactly what they're saying. I mean, he is the epitome of, he wants to go in there and just do it himself because he's been there for so long in his playing career. But yeah, I mean, I look at the Lakers situation they're coming into tonight. Like you said, Colin Sexton, Colin Knipple. I mean, the Hornets, of course, they're not one of the best teams in the league, but we saw the Lakers kind of play down to that competition against an injured Hawks team. So just really important. The West is getting better all around. The Warriors are getting Steph back. Timberwolves are playing good. Suns are actually playing good. So, I mean, Lakers were just in second place. You want to try to hang on to that top of the Western Conference as long as you can, because you don't know how the rest of the season is going to go. So just got to take care of business side over in Charlotte.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think, too, it's like I mentioned right now, I mean, with Luka getting those 2 early fouls, I had some, I'm friends with the Locked On Mavs host. He texted me and he's like, "Oh, Luka would disrespect some teams on the road and this and that." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like Luka is always going to be a part of Hawks history, right? I mean, they went with Trae Young, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that would be extra motivation 100%. For you, but I'm with you. I think when you look at where this Lakers team is at, like you are somehow, some way the surprise team of the NBA and your Lakers, which is kind of a crazy thing to think. But you start losing to the Hawks, you start losing to the Hornets, and then for as much as your record can balloon early in the season, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're 2 games over 500. Then what are you? Then LeBron comes back, and then you have to build chemistry with that group, and then you drop some games. You have a tougher schedule. So yeah, I mean, I hated that loss over the weekend. It felt like a Darvin Ham loss to me.
Felt like a Darvin Ham loss. Felt like they came out rusty after having 2 days off. And, I don't think any team's going to catch OKC in that first seed. OKC's off to a 10-1 start, but I think outside of them, there's no other powerhouse team. The Rockets losing Father Fred hurt them a lot. The Warriors have been without Steph to start the year. The Clippers have been an absolute disaster so far. So it's like the Lakers really need to take advantage of what the conference looks like right now. And, the Eastern Conference is pretty weak in itself too. So it's like you just got to put yourself as close to OKC as you can. Try to have some home games in the playoffs at Crypto.com Arena. And just, like I said, when LeBron James comes back, hope that he doesn't disrupt too much. Hope that he's just a positive addition and that Luka and Reeves can keep up the level they've been playing.
It is so important, though. I mean, I know that there's a lot of teams out there in a lot of major sports where you can say, look, as long as we're in, we feel like we have a chance, right? I think the Dodgers, they don't value the regular season as much as they did 5 or 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the different thing for the Lakers to me, though, is you want to play a 4-game series with LeBron James in the first round.
Exactly.
You want to win in 5 in the second round. Because if you can get through the first couple rounds in 10, 12 games, right? Or 10 or less. Exactly. And you have LeBron saying, I'm going to empty the tank for 2 7-game series to win another title. You're going to feel a lot better than having to play tough teams in the first couple of rounds. And last year was tough because of the center situation. And you didn't have a lot of time to really put a roster around Luka like you wanted to. But I will say this, Noel. I was defending Luke. I told you, I'm commenting on Instagram, and I'm kind of it almost feels like a burden because when I don't engage in Dodger stuff, I can kind of be free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah. So I've been commenting on Lakers Instagrams, on basketball Instagrams, and I was out there defending Luka unknowingly. I was like Kobe back in the day, Kershaw when he has a bad performance. I felt like he was my one of my guys for the first time. Wow, I haven't had this feeling with a Laker player in a long time. And I was out there texting what are you talking about, a bad game? I was I remember I put on the chat, I was in the comments. Luke had 22 points. He was 7 of 13 at the half. His bad game at halftime is an all-star performance for most, right? And if he has a bad game, Luke will have those games where he goes 19 or 20 for a couple of games, and then he'll be all right, here's 10 straight of 40 plus with a triple double, right? So I think tonight is the beginning of that next big run for Luka.
Yeah, no, it was unfortunate seeing him go down with a double injury earlier in the year because he started off so hot. And it felt like all that offseason work he was putting in was translating immediately. And now I'm kind of getting scared because I'm seeing some flicks of him off the court. He's looking a little pudgier. But I also think that's part of his season thing. I think he gets.
But there's no more Luka bong rips.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. He gets a little thicker during the year because that's just how he plays. It's good when he's a bigger guard. He's able to just bump dudes, get to his spots a little bit easier. But I agree with you. I think tonight could be the start of another really hot stretch for Luka. I want to see him back in those early MVP talks. We were talking earlier. I think right now it's Shea and Wemby right at the top early on. But Luka still has.
It's a very it is kind of what I like about it too is there's no Shohei Ohtani where it's oh great
they're taking it.
But Wemby with the Spurs record, and he's a freak, right? And that's kind of the thing where it's oh crap, it's the Wemby freak year. Are we? But that's my whole thing is are we already in the we're gonna give Wemby MVPs? I was damn, I wanted to wait till 24. We're wait a minute, so what is he gonna win 10 MVPs in his career, right? But Shea is not dropping off. The production's still there. They're a number 1 seed. It could be one of those things where it's I'll give it to Shea, but he'll deserve it.
Yeah,
Luka's gonna have to really consistently put up crazy numbers. Get close to triple doubles, 30 plus a night, lead this team to a top 3 seed. But I do feel Shea has his. Wemby's going to get his 5, right?
Yeah.
This could be a year where it's if Luka's in the mix, Like that, there's a good narrative there for him.
Absolutely. I think we're gonna have years of like not just Luka and Wemby like MVP battles, but also just I think really good Spurs and Lakers playoff battles. I'm really excited for that.
Oh, no doubt about it. Absolutely. Yeah. Give me some Luka Force, man. They're kind of clean. They're kind of clean. But before we talk about UCLA leaving the Rose Bowl, I thought there was a pretty cool clip that the Lakers social media did where they asked the Lakers their favorite pregame hype song. I remember I asked the Dodgers a couple years ago, but let's play this clip, Rob. The Lakers pregame hype songs.
If I had to pick one song, maybe March Madness Future.
I do not just have one, but you can say Victory, Notorious B.I.G. if I need to get going.
Excellence is my presence, never tense.
Probably be something by NBA Youngboy.
I feel like on Gucci Mane in 2006.
Some type of Future music.
Out the bottle, I'm a living proof.
Anything by Burna Boy.
I listen to NBA Youngboy to get me hype. You know, get my blood flowing in. That's my guy. I've been listening to him since I was 16 years old. So yeah.
I'ma thank you. I got to have the experience while I don't stay.
Probably Bee's Knees, Juice WRLD.
I just be throwing on G Herbo.
I'm a shooting score. I'm like Robert Orr.
Freestyle, Lil Baby.
I pass the bar, I don't lay up. I'm a big boss, I gotta say something.
I don't really have a go-to, but I listen to hip-hop, Afro beats, Afro house, dancehall, whatever.
I'm feeling best, yeah. I'm feeling good, yeah.
How's that a hype song? How is Rui's a hype song? What did he say there?
He said it was like Afro beats, right?
Yeah.
Like jazz and Afro beats. Yeah, like some dudes, they just like the chill. And they don't like to get hyped up. They rather just kind of get in like an ambience and like a relaxing state.
Yeah, I would say for my top five, it'd be tough. I would probably say Tupac's Troublesome 96, Tupac Hit 'Em Up, Notorious Thugs from Notorious Life After Death 1 and 2. Victory's a good one for LeBron,
Yeah,
but
that's a good
Till
one.
I
Yeah.
Collapse from Eminem. Lose Yourself is kind of a little too on the nose, like kind of forced on a hype song. Some of the Creed Future joints with those were pretty hardcore.
You're talking about the Creed soundtrack?
Yeah, the Creed soundtrack.
That was so fun.
Yeah, the
That
Creed
was amazing.
soundtrack. I was like super into the Creed soundtrack. Like those ones were with Meek Mill. You know, with Meek Mill in the Future song.
That was tough.
That was pretty. Good Kid, Mad City. Certainly one of my all-time hype songs. What's the one? T Grizzly, First Day Out. First Day Out.
Yeah, First Day
Gavin Lux's. That they told T Grizzlies. Okay, what about you, Rob? Give me your pre-show. I know you ball still. So Rob, what are your favorite like pre-game, pre-ball and hype songs?
Man, I mean, I really like. There's a couple. I definitely gotta go. Count Me Out, Kendrick Lamar. That's definitely one of them. I definitely gotta go. That's tough, D-Mac. That's tough. Power, Kanye West. You know, no, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, Power by Kanye West. All the Lights, Kanye West. That goes pretty hard. Those are good picks. How about you, Noel?
I'll go. It's B Word. Let's Do It. NBA Youngboy.
Wait, what did you say? That's called that? Or you just do this because of the family show? Okay,
Let's Do It.
I respect that. I respect that.
A lot of Lakers and a lot of NFL players love Youngboy, so I'm along the line. Stop Breathing, Playboy Cardi. I'll say those are my top two to get hyped before the show.
I like it.
One more. Have y'all heard of Everyday Hustle by Future Metro Boomin? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one too.
No, are you kidding me? Dude, the whole DS2 for Future is like a great hype song.
Yeah.
Dude, that one is. I thought it was a drought. Oh my gosh, that's such a good hype song.
Yeah.
Stick Talk. All right, well, let's get gears. I'll get some comments down below. We got Muad'Dib. Galaxy just won the title. Then the Dodgers, Rams, Lucas, and the Sparks next. Man, this is a perfect show for you, Muad'Dib. I love it. We got Dan Moreno, D-Mac. Y'all are my YouTube feed. LOL. I just got done watching my favorite Dodgers talk show, Dodgers Dugout, and now this is on. You're the hardest working man in LA. LOL. Dan Moreno, my man. We've got Tyler Ross, D-Mac. We got reporting for D-Mac duty from Lou. What is up? Lakers should be a top 3 seed. BC. Hey, they got off to as good of a start as you could have hoped, for sure. Yeah, drop your guys pregame hype songs. If you see any of those, Rob, let's get into that, okay? So we're looking for those. All right, guys, last topic of the day. This one, I don't know, maybe it was just because of me, but I saw this got a lot of attention, and that is UCLA, the Bruins leaving the Rose Bowl for SoFi Stadium. And a lot of UCLA fans are not happy about this. Some are, a small faction. But as the story goes, they're finalizing a deal for its football program to play its home games at SoFi Stadium starting next year. So a lot of times when you see stuff like this, deals like this, it's like years down the line. This would start next year, and it's near a done deal. And I've heard that from multiple sources, boosters I know, ones that have told me that there's more to this that has not been revealed or released, and that it's more than just SoFi Stadium being closer to UCLA's campus in Westwood, being closer to students and their fan base, and it's more than just the luxury boxes. But this is pretty massive because according to the plan, UCLA is going to play its home games at SoFi starting with the 2026 football season, and they're going to officially announce it at the end of the current football season. And the plan is for UCLA to buy out the lease that it currently holds with the city of Pasadena and the Rose Bowl's operating company. And the lease runs through June of 2044. And the estimate that it's going to cost UCLA is between $60 and $80 million to get out of that agreement. And there's also news that came out today that the city of Pasadena and the Rose Bowl's operating company filed a lawsuit on October 29th accusing UCLA of betraying the trust of its agreement by attempting to relocate its home games to SoFi Stadium. And the lawsuit could precipitate more than $1 billion in damages. So that's pretty serious right there. Now, why would UCLA do this? Why would they leave the Rose Bowl where they played their games since 1982? It's the granddaddy of them all, like Keith Jackson dubbed it. It's arguably the most iconic college football venue because the Rose Bowl that still hosts national championships every 4 years, that's still a major part of the college football playoff. They got the San Gabriel Mountains, it's the Roses. It's still a very big deal in the college football world. Why would UCLA want to leave that? Well, what I've been told is they want to make a lot of money from luxury suites. And the luxury suites at SoFi Stadium are double and triple what they are at the Rose Bowl. So there's the luxury suites. There's two that the Rose Bowl is 32 miles from Westwood. Its current capacity is 89,702. And right now, there's tarps on a lot of those seats. If you go to SoFi Stadium, it's 12 miles from UCLA's campus, and it holds 70,240. So you're talking about a lot less seats to fill. And if you're UCLA, you're looking at it as, okay, look, SoFi Stadium, outside of Lambeau Field, as far as amenities go, it's a $5 billion football cathedral. You also do share it with the Rams. You share it with the Chargers. It doesn't feel like college football. You're playing on field turf instead of grass. You don't have the outdoor elements. Are you going to tailgate on concrete versus grass? there's all those things. I'm still kind of torn with this one. I'll be honest with you. Look, full disclosure. I'm definitely a member of Bruin Report Online as far as the message board. And I went on that message board and I was like, I hate this. I absolutely hate this because I think it's more nostalgia, right? Tailgate at the Rose Bowl, the student section there, it's pretty alive. But there's got to be a reason that we just don't know, which I've been told is something. And whether that be on the Rose Bowl's end, whether that be on UCLA's end, it does make some sense as far as the proximity to campus. And one thing I also heard was that public transportation to the Rose Bowl is just never going to be fixed. And the residents around in Pasadena kind of hate that. They hate the fact that it's tough to get in and out of the Rose Bowl. So look, I my other fear too is that will this be the last time UCLA ever plays in the Rose Bowl, right? Because the only way they could play there now would be to get to the actual Rose Bowl. And they haven't done that since 1998 when they lost to the Wisconsin Badgers. So look, the number one thing I will say about this though, for UCLA fans that are really upset, is that this is a big indication of how serious they are about football right now. And the truth is the fact that they're willing to enter a $1 billion lawsuit and to pay $60 to $80 million to get out of a lease because they think that'll improve the program, that tells you that they're also probably willing to spend a lot on their next football coach, which they've spent months in trying to nail down their next guy. So a lot's happening in the UCLA football world, and this is the biggest development we've seen so far. Pasadena really is not going to have a lot of options as far as tenants go. With UCLA being gone, you got the Rose Bowl game, you have some concerts, you have some soccer games, but yeah, it'll be a new era for sure. All right, we're going to end the show here. We're going to end the show here on my top stadiums in Los Angeles, top sports venues in Los Angeles. And we're going to start with, let's start with, how many we do here? Let's start with, got some honorable mentions in there, but I'm going to do my top 7. 7, I got to go, and you guys can give your own list down below. You guys had a lot of fun. We did the top 10 LA sports stars last show. So my top 7 sports stadiums in Los Angeles. 7, the Bank of California. I've been there. I've seen a boxing match there. My friend is the manager of Zerto Ramirez. Got a cool vibe there. It's small. Haven't seen a soccer game there, so full disclosure, had to admit that. 6, I got to go with the Intuit Dome. Now, the Intuit Dome is first class with their amenities. It's a great place to watch a basketball game. Not a lot of history, though. Not a lot of history in that one. So I got it at number 6. Number 5, I got to go with the LA Coliseum. The LA Coliseum hosts the Olympics. It hosts USC. A lot of tradition there. There's no doubt about it. USC football, I have USC as a top 5 program all time. I think they're an absolute blue blood. But let's be honest. I've been to probably 40 USC games in my life. And for 35 of those games, the Coliseum was a dump. Like the Coliseum was, I remember going to a game in like 2018. They still had tube TVs, like big square two TVs by the concession stands. Like we're talking about, okay, Robert, are you a Coliseum guy? I mean, I know you're are you a Coli guy?
I love the Coliseum, man.
But let's be honest, man. Like the Coliseum was a dump for a long time. I think what they have going for it is it's really, I mean, it's fun. I go with my friends for USC. You can tailgate on the campus. You can go right into the stadium. There's that. And when they light the fire, when they light the flames at the end of the third quarter, that's cool. That's pretty electric. It's not bad. I mean, you have a lot of history there. I mean, you're the 5th. You're 5 on this list. You're top 5 LA venue. 4, I got Crypto.com Arena. I went to the Kings game. Go, Kings, go. Had like 5 tall boys. Met a lot of you guys at the game, by the way. It was a lot of fun. Crypto.com, I went to Staples Center the first year it opened, then to countless games there. The memories, the nostalgia for Staples is certainly there. Looking up and seeing all those Lakers banners, all those retired numbers was awesome. I think not having the Clippers there is kind of like cool because you're like the only NBA team there. It doesn't feel dated to me. It really doesn't. They had this cool thing. I don't know if you guys have been to Crypto.com lately, but I went into this area where you go in and you just flash your credit card. You grab anything you want in that store. For me, it's like a Modelo, and you just leave.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
It charges you, right?
And it charges you.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I was trying to put it under my shirt and stuff like that.
I haven't done it, but yeah. I have some friends that have done it.
You know how it works, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I went in. I was like, you know, like 3 beers deep, and I was like, hey, how does this work, man? It's crazy. You know what I mean? And then he's like, look up, and I looked up, and there's like 5,000 cameras.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, there's like literally 5,000 cameras that are like looking at your every move and stuff.
Or farmed on you said look up.
Well, I know he kind of did. I was like, bro, you know what I mean? But it's pretty awesome. It really makes you want to just grab anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that like awkward interaction with anything. You just like, you take what you want and you just straight up bounce, man. So
awesome.
I'm guessing that's pretty normal around a bunch of stadiums out there.
Intuit Dome actually started that. Intuit Dome was one of the first ones to really do that.
What would you give Intuit Dome out of 10?
I'll give it a strong 8. It's a great stadium. I use public transportation a lot, and there is like no public transport that like gets you right there to Intuit Dome. So that's the only down part. But yeah, great stadium, high tech. fancy. If the Clippers win, you get some crypto. You know what I'm saying? Like you get some crypto credits. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Next one, I got Poly Pavilion. I mean, this one's a little biased for me. I love Poly Pavilion. I think the 11 banners hanging. I think UCLA games still, when the team's really good, you get 11,000 and you're kind of dug into the ground there. The wooden statue outside, I think Poly's up there. Okay, top three though. My top three, I'm going Rose Bowl 3. Even though I love the Rose Bowl, but I feel like we're kind of having a bad breakup right now. But the Rose Bowl, the setting, the history, how iconic it is, got Rose Bowl at 3. Pasadena, San Gabriel Mounds, it's great. Top 2, SoFi Stadium comes in at number 2. If you've ever seen a concert there, I've seen Kendrick there, The Weeknd there, BTS there, Playboy Cardi there for he did half a song, right, Noel? Yeah. He half a song, then he was done. And then also just watching a football game there. The amenities are off the chart. It's really comfortable. The space, kind of the air on the top of the stadium. I mean, it's a $5.5 billion stadium. And I think it's the sight lines. The sight lines are great. There's not a bad seat in the entire house. And it's got that open air feeling. It just, I don't know. You got the faux roof. You got the halo. It's, when it comes to, it's the super stadium. It really is. It really is. Then number 1, Dodger Stadium. Nothing beats Dodger Stadium, the number 1 stadium in all of Los Angeles sports. And what I love about Dodger Stadium, what I love about this ballpark is it has that mid-century modern, that old school feel, but they've updated it with modern amenities, what they did on the outfield with adding restaurants. I mean, that used to be like an uneven parking lot where people used to smoke. Now you got like a little playground. You've got a place where you can take a really cool picture of the decks from the outfield spot, which is pretty awesome there. I mean, there's just so much that they've done in recent years. And then it really kind of feels like a stadium from yesteryear. I mean, it opened up in 1959 and you've got World Series titles in the history and the tradition of the organization. And also too, I think it's cool because we always talk about, have you been to the bank? Oh, maybe not. Have you been into it? I don't know. But find one person that's even interested in sports that hasn't been to Dodger Stadium. I mean, it's really a ballpark that feels like everyone has been there. And what Jana Marie Smith has done and what the O'Malleys did with that back in the day, I still have as number 1. How about you, Noel? What do you think about my list?
I like your list. I think I would put Crypto.com Arena over Poly Pavilion. But I like your top 2. SoFi is incredible.
I probably would do. I honestly, that was kind of a biased pick.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Poly's awesome. It really is. I mean, it's I love Poly.
Here's the thing about crypto, man. It's like nothing beats when you just randomly get some tickets to a Laker game. You put on your best fit because it's like a dress contest when you go to a Laker
That's
game.
The thing. That lower bowl, you don't see a lot of Lakers gear, right?
The lower bowl is just people dripped out.
Baggy jeans.
You get lucky enough to be in like a suite.
Chrome hearts,
everything. Yeah. And then, like I said, just the history, the Kobe statues that are there now.
The statues are pretty awesome. I will say there's more statues there than there was.
The sound system, the hype video they play when the players come out to warm up. And I love every Lakers experience.
Crypto.com is awesome. Okay, I'll flip that one for you. I think the unbiased list, you can flip that for sure. But I think 1 and 2 and 3, I think 1 and 2 is kind of the Dodgers team in the Rose Bowl, but I think SoFi, because of it is like a modern cathedral. But let's do some comments here and then we'll get out of here, guys. BC says SoFi, Dodgers, Crypto, Dignity Health Sports.
Dignity Health. Shout out Carson.
Dignity Health.
That's right by Compton, baby.
Yeah, CPT. Is that where the Galaxy play, right?
Yeah, that's where the Galaxy play.
I'm a Galaxy fan. Ben Meza, shout out LASR, shout out Laser. Thanks, Ben Meza. Appreciate that. BC, formerly known as the Staples Center, Lakers three-peated and repeat at the Staples Center. Still no titles since changing the name. Interesting. It'll always be Staples to me, I guess. R.I.P. Keith Jackson. Yep. The granddaddy of them all. We've got D-Max dance called the Tour de Pound. Okay. All right, guys. That is going to do it for this episode of the LA Sports Report. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Special thanks to producer Robert. Noel, join us for some Lakers talk. And this is going to be your show for all LA sports. 1 hour, sometimes over. We're going to see post games here, interviews, all that's going to be here at the LA Sports Report. So join the movement. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And until next